Hello YouTube, Josh Patton here with a video about how to mount the head unit and dash kit for a double DIN head unit replacement into a 2007 to 2009 Lincoln MKZ with the navigation head unit. So the good news is that this can be done, despite many car audio sites and forums saying that there's a lot of work involved. It's not a terribly difficult process. It does require a little bit of custom work. So some of the problems you're going to encounter along the way is that there's not a dash kit that's specifically made for the 2007 to 2009 Lincoln MKZ with the navigation head unit. The issue with this is that the dash opening is slightly larger than a double DIN opening by about a half an inch on each side, so you'd be left with a big gap if you didn't have something to fill it in. Fortunately, there is a mostly compatible dash kit that will fit the opening. Also, you might be asking yourself, which wiring harness do I need? There are several different manufacturers and options for this. Also, you may be asking yourself, how do I retain my steering wheel controls? So the dash kit you're going to want to use is the Metra 95-5812. Now, this kit is not intended for the 2007 to 2009 Lincoln MKZ, but the kit can be modified to fit. The holes on the trim kit don't match the mount points on the bezel, so you're going to have to trim them off, and I will show a video of that later on. In addition, you're going to have to file or sand down the edges, the left and right edges of the trim kit by about 1 to 2 millimeters on each side. Now, if you look at the image on the right side of this video, you'll see the 5 pieces that you need from the kit, which are the trim kit and the 4 spacers pointed at by the arrows. I have also included a link in the description to purchase this kit. The wiring harness I recommend for this installation is the PAC C2R-FRD1. It retains most of the features of the original installation, including speed-controlled volume, backup sensor, and steering wheel remote controls if your head unit supports all of those features, among others. It's competitively priced, and I've included a link in the description of this video to purchase this wiring harness. Additionally, you're going to need an AM/FM antenna adapter. The Metra 40-CR10 adapter will work with this vehicle. I've included a link to purchase this in the description as well. One of the things to note on an installation in the 2007 to 2009 Lincoln MKZ is that the steering wheel control interface is a resistive based. It's not CAN bus. It's a simple resistive based steering wheel control interface. A lot of head units support this without having to buy an external steering wheel control module. If your head unit supports the ability to learn steering wheel control codes, meaning that you have to program the individual key presses on your steering wheel controls into your head unit. The example I have is the Sony WX900BT will allow you to directly connect to the steering wheel control wire from the wiring harness without requiring an external adapter. Other head units may not allow you to do this, so you will have to verify that your head unit supports the ability to set and program steering wheel controls. Most likely, if it does, all you'll need is just a simple wire to connect into your head unit. Some head units have a direct wire interface. All you have to do is solder the wires together. Other units, like the Sony WX900BT I spoke of, require a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack to support the steering wheel controls. Now, if you look at the image on the right, all you need to do to make this work in that particular unit is to connect the center wire to the control wire, the steering wheel control wire, off the PAC wire harness, and then take and connect the second wire to the ground wire or to your chassis. So now that you have all of the components you need to begin the process of installing your doubled-in head unit into your 2007 to 2009 Lincoln MKZ, you can start the installation. Now you'll need to set aside around 3 to 4 hours to really dedicate to completing this installation properly. It is somewhat time intensive, and you don't want to cut corners whenever you're doing something like this. For the remainder of the video, I'm not going to be focusing on disassembling the car and the soldering process for the PAC head unit wiring harness, because there are plenty of videos already on YouTube for how to do these two things. What I'm going to be focusing on is preparing the Metro Dash kit, the modifications that need to be done to it, as well as, once you've prepared that kit, how to mount your new head unit with the OEM mounts and the Metro Dash kit to have a seamless fit onto your bezel. To remove the radio from the bezel, remove the 4 screws attaching the harness to the bezel. To remove the mounting bracket from the OEM navigation unit, remove the 4 screws on each side of the navigation unit attaching the bracket to the unit. Attach the OEM mounting bracket with 2 screws per side, as pictured. Note the distance of the screws relative to the front faceplate of the head unit. You will now need to cut all of the tabs off of the side of the dash trim bezel piece. After you have cut all of the pieces off, as shown, you will need to sand or file the sides that you cut the pieces from down 1 to 2 millimeters on each side. Before beginning, ensure that the edge of the dash trim piece with the largest protrusion is facing towards the bottom of the head unit. Once you have trimmed and filed or sanded down the edges of the dash trim piece, you will be ready to place it onto the head unit. Note that when you're placing the trim piece onto the head unit, the sides need to be able to slip past the metal protrusions on the OEM bracket as pointed out. Once you have gotten them to slip past these protrusions, you will need to put some kind of adhesive to keep them in place, to keep the dash trim piece from popping out as you are installing. Take care to align the posts on the OEM bezel to line up with the OEM metal bracket now attached to the head unit. Ensure that the dash kit trim ring is largely flush with the bezel. After reattaching the mounting bracket to the bezel, you will want to take the 4 spacers included with the dash kit and place them under the corner edges of the dash kit trim piece. Once you have placed these and have them with a snug fit, place a small bit of adhesive to ensure they do not move after installation. This is to ensure the dash kit trim piece does not come loose during normal use. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or just need some assistance to figure out some particular bit of this, feel free to leave a comment. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting more videos about my installation into my 2007 Lincoln MKZ. So just keep an eye on my channel, and I'll see you next time. Take care.